untie the laces on your shoes.
đơn giản quá.
Okay, you don't have the ties on your shoes. Okay, the both shoes. Okay, I will count the time. Did you hesitate to decide whether to tie your left or your right shoes first? Or did you hesitate to decide whether to use your left or your right hand to tag the easy card to the card reader? Of course not. Those behaviors are habitual and effortless, and that is the power of habit. And I'm going to tell you the secrets of habit. Why do we need habits? Habits emerge because our brain is constantly looking for ways to save effort. An efficient brain also allows us to stop thinking constantly about basic behavior, such as walking, so we can devote mental energy to do more complicated things like inventing airplanes or mobile phones. So how does habit come to be? There is a process within our brain called three-step loop. First, there is a cue that triggers our brain, that tells a trigger that tells our brain to go into automatic mode and which habit to use. Second, there is a routine which can be physical or emotional. Finally, there is a reward which helps our brain figure out if this particular loop is worth remembering for the future. Over time, this loop, cue, routine, reward, cue, routine, reward, become more and more automatic. Eventually, the habit is formed. Habits never really disappear or distinguish. They are encoded into the structures of our brain. And that is a huge advantage for us because it would be awful if we have to relearn how to drive after every occasion. The problem is that our brain can't tell you the difference between good and bad habits. So if you have a bad one, it's always lurking there, waiting for the right cues and the rewards. This explains why it's so hard to create exercise habits, for instance, or change what we eat. Once we develop a routine of sitting on couch rather than running, those patterns always remain in your head. By the same rule though, if we learn how to create new neurological routines that overpower those behaviors, we can force those bad tendencies into the background. That is because the easy way to overcome a bad habit is to change the routine part. Take how Starbucks train their new employees, for example, also Starbucks. A manager said to the new employees, one of the hardest things about this job is dealing with an angry customer. The manager asked one of the new employees a question. When someone comes up and starts yelling at you because they got a wrong drink, what is your reaction? The employee replied, I don't know, maybe I feel kind of scared or angry. That is natural, the manager said, but our job is to provide the best customer service, even when the pressure is on. The manager showed him a Starbucks manual and showed him a page that was largely blank. At the top, it read, for the customer is unhappy. My plan is to blah, blah, blah. This workbook is for you to imagine unpleasant situations and write out plans corresponding, the manager said. Okay, let's correct the three-step loop again. Once the queue arrives an angry customer, now we change the routine from being angry to listen to the customer, acknowledge their complaint, thank them, and explain why the problem occurred. Finally, we get a specific reward. A grateful customer will praise from the managers. All they have to do is to practice this loop again and again until they become automatic and habit. So do you have a habit that you want to overcome? Or do you have difficulties forming a good one? Just remember this 3-step loop: cue, routine, and reward. Once you break a habit into its component, you can fiddle with the gears easily. Those methods of living